What's going on, everybody? This is Adam Burke from BangTheBook.com, coming to the look at game 244, the Playstation Fiesta Bowl, the second of the college football playoff semifinals. Clemson, a 2-point favorite, total of 63.5 against the Ohio State Buckeyes. Over at BangTheBook.com, we got previews for this game, the other playoff semifinal, and all of the remaining bowl games for you to check out over there. And, of course, you'll hear a lot of bowl game coverage on Bang the Book Radio. Shortened week here this week with the Christmas holiday. Shortened week next week with the New Year's holiday and all the daytime bowl action and stuff like that. But, again, make sure you check out Bang the Book Radio every Monday through Friday. You can find those segments right here on our YouTube page or wherever you stream and download your podcast content. Once again, the Fiesta Bowl here. Clemson, 2-point favorite, total 63.5 against Ohio State. Really bad championship weekend for the Buckeyes. Justin Fields did not look good, in particular in the first half. Very limited mobility for him. Practice reports coming out here this week saying that he's maybe 80 to 85%. So obviously it's a big concern for the Buckeyes heading into this one. But not only the Fields thing, LSU rolled over Georgia. Ohio State struggled with Wisconsin. Ohio State was probably going to fall to 2 anyway, as long as LSU beat Georgia. But falling to 2, of course, means that now you play the Clemson Tigers. This line was 2.5, got bet down to 2 market wide. Very little movement on this game, though. Only that half-point line move. Total hasn't moved a whole lot either. Big strength of schedule edge for Ohio State in this one. Clemson playing the 62nd ranked schedule. Ohio State the 14th ranked schedule. And Sagarin gives Ohio State a massive edge here in this game. But a lot of power ratings for handicappers, odds makers, so on and so forth, have had Clemson number 1 the last several weeks. And with Clemson favored here in this neutral setting, we can see that they are number 1 in the power ratings for a lot of people. You got a big question here about how Clemson steps up. Because as I just mentioned, played a very weak schedule. They've played only a couple competitive games this season. They've played nobody on Ohio State's level from a talent standpoint. But we had those same questions last year. And what did Clemson do? Well, they went and won the national championship. Ohio State also hasn't seen this level of athleticism this season. Clemson recruits at a top 3 level. They're very, very talented all over the field, both sides of the ball. The Buckeyes haven't seen much of that either. So you got questions about both of these teams here. I think in particular, questions about both of these defenses, how they hold up. Ohio State, elite level running game, same thing for Clemson. Clemson's passing game, maybe a little bit more polished with Trevor Lawrence and with the injuries to Justin Fields. But, 2 very good crops of receivers. You've got some big play potential. Both these teams can go vertical. This should be a phenomenal football game. Certainly as an Ohio State fan, I'm hoping that it goes better than their game a few years ago against Clemson, where they got shut out 31-0. But questions about both of these defenses, questions about the losses for Clemson on defense over the last couple of years. This is the first time that they have a chance to really show up against an Ohio State team that is so good, has a dual-threat quarterback, has that great running game, has wide receivers that block really well, wide receivers that can go up and make plays, but also huge questions for this Ohio State defense because what if Chase Young doesn't get pressure? What if Chase Young can't get back there and disrupt Trevor Lawrence, who is pretty mobile in his own right? Ohio State, we saw their back 7 get a little bit exposed in some of their games late in the year if they didn't get a pass rush back there. If they don't get a pass rush going against Clemson, the Tigers can beat them vertical. So it's going to be big for guys like Jeff Okudah, Damon Arnett. Some of the guys, Pete Werner is going to get lost in coverage, be a mismatch. That's a mismatch a lot of teams have exploited. Clemson's going to look to exploit that one, get some guys free in space in the middle of the field. So a lot of X's and O's stuff goes into this game. I think makes it a very difficult handicap, especially with such a low number of 2. And the total of 63.5, statistically, these are 2 elite defenses. But again, you've got a high total here because of the respect for the offensive personnel and because of the questions of the defenses here. Also, Ryan Day versus Dabo Swinney. Dabo Swinney, since 2012, this coming from our Bang the Book Radio friend Brad Powers, 8-2 straight up, 9-1 against the spread since 2012. A dog in all but one of those games. 8-2 straight up, 9-1 against the spread. And all of those games coming against head coaches that have won a national championship. So Dabo, this is his moment. This is where he shines. This is where him, Brent Venables, and co-offensive coordinators, including Jeff Scott, who's taking the head coaching job at USF, this is where they shine. Ohio State, we don't know about Ryan Day in this spot. Co-defensive coordinator Jeff Hafley taking the job at Boston College, so he's had a little bit of a distraction here during the bowl prep period. A lot of questions about both of these teams here. Until Ryan Day proves it on the big stage, I've got to give the nod to Clemson. I've got to give the nod to Dabo Swinney. Got to say Clemson -2 here in this one. Again, like I said, I am a Buckeyes fan. Maybe a little bit of an emotional hedge here, but Fields is way less than 100%. Trevor Lawrence and the Clemson wide receivers can test Ohio State vertically. Nobody else has been able to do that this season. I've got some worries about how that goes for them. It's the first time they've seen talent. It's the first time that they've seen a situation where Chase Young maybe won't get consistent pressure. Didn't get it in the Michigan game, and Michigan played well offensively in the first half before Ohio State shut it down, made some adjustments. So if Chase Young can't be that disruptive force, it puts a lot of strain on the Ohio State back seven. The linebackers are not great in coverage, and you've got questions about some of the corners there against these elite athletes for Clemson. So I think Clemson just matches up well here with Ohio State as well as you can against a team like the Buckeyes. And again, I think Dabo over Day, maybe a little bit of a coaching advantage there to Clemson. So it's Clemson -2 for me in the Fiesta Bowl. I'm Adam Burke for BangTheBook.com.